he came to Colorado for a week and we banged out an EP, put it out, and our first EP got reviewed by Shiba-san, got played by Laurent Garnier, got played by Patrick Topping, which we didn't even know yet. I didn't even know who he was. I had no clue who Patrick Topping was. And he was like, yo, man, Patrick Topping's playing our record. Who the fuck's that?
Look at Mixmag.
He's like, he's on the cover of Mixmag, and his favorite record this year, his number one out of his top 10 is ours. I'm like, oh shit, that's who Patrick is. No, so and you know, stupid me. I was coming out of the EDM world, so I was relearning the underground. I didn't understand like who was who. I knew the classic names like the Derek Carters, the DJ Sneaks,
right?
But I wasn't sure who the new guys were. I knew Jamie Jones and Lee Foss, obviously, because I knew Lee Foss before he was big Lee Foss. He was Lee Foss resident at Spy Bar. Like,
yeah,
I remember that. So, like, for me, it was an interesting era to, like, relearn everything and to find out that some of the biggest dudes in the game bought our first EP. Like, just bought it.
Yeah, because we didn't have a promo service at that time or anything like that.
No,
nothing. It was all DIY.
We just put it out there.
Yeah. Grassroots guerrilla relationship marketing. And it's funny. I think these days, with just major labels and labels in general, right? The big ones, like you think you have to release on a big label to get your brand out there, to get your music out there. You got to leverage your friends and your network more than ever these days, because the oversaturation of social media, of so much music and stuff, people don't know what to trust. And you know what they do trust? Their friends' advice, their friends' recommendations. And I'm seeing that shit full circle. Like, you guys are not the only ones that are saying this, that are OGs in the game. You got to literally slide into DMs. You got to literally email people. You got to network. You got to spend $1,000 to get into space to give Mark 9 USB. You got to do whatever you got to do to get yourself out there, right?
Oh, it's a nonstop hustle, bro. Like this guy fucking laughs at me because, like, I'll literally take a booking on my phone in my sleep, wake up and forget that we took a booking and a deposit. And I'm like, fuck, dude, we got a gig next week. I forgot we got paid for this shit. I forgot, bro. Like, we got to go. Like, thank God we have an agent for that now. But there's been moments where I've taken bookings in my fucking sleep, like literally not even realized it. So there's that.
Amazing. So, Jesus.
Man, it's interesting, man. Especially with all the labels. Like, it takes more. Like right now, we're number one on Beatport. 25 people were involved in that project. It wasn't just like a project that just happened. Like, it's like, oh, put it on a label, let's promote it. It's like, no, I'm a firm believer of pre-release, release. Right now where we're at, the momentum is still climbing, and then there's going to be the after release. What do we do after this huge record? You know what I mean?
Follow it up.
You have to have a timeline of what you're doing with everything. You know what I mean? And if you don't, then you're just some guy throwing fucking darts at a dartboard and hoping something sticks. Yeah.
Did you guys always do that all along? Have you made your fair share of mistakes with releases?
I mean, now with Ghetto Blaster, I did that with Paul Anthony, hardcore. I put out 800 singles.
800?
At least. Remixes, singles, collaborations, all the way around, about 800 total.
Jesus, talk about pumping the fucking market, though. That's a good way to get your name out there.
Definitely when you have. I mean, what we do with Ghetto Blaster is very similar, but at a smaller scale. Is we try to have tracks, not necessarily songs, so we can be on everyone's USB. Like, to me, like, that's an angle that a lot of people can't even play. Most managers like, yo, one record every 6 weeks. That's cool. While you're only on some flash drives, I'm on all flash drives.
Yeah, and it seems like people want new music consistently. You know what I mean? So releasing more music for us is like opened up a lot of doors too.
Every manager in the game is told to slow down releases. I'm like, yeah, all right, dude. That's like my success formula.
It works. Just keep putting it out. And you brought up a really interesting topic. There's this line of releasing electronic music these days. There's streamable. How many streams am I getting on Spotify? There's playable. How many DJs are going to put this on their USB? And then there's a combination of both, which you guys have done a spectacular job of. And you have tracks that have incredible streaming success. They sell really well on Beatport. I mean, you have Beatport #1 right now. People got to buy your track. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to share it. It's going to play. It's going to get on playlists. And I think that's what really, really separates you guys from the competition and how you've been able to grow so much.
And for anyone that wants to know the secret, they pretty much got to watch this interview because I've never really said this before. Like, anytime we release something on our label, we put it on SoundCloud for free. We just enable the download link and we don't tell anybody. And if you find it, It's a gem. You get a free record, you ain't got to pay for it. Because I'm a firm believer that, like, especially in pandemics or in college when you don't have a lot of money to spend on music, why the fuck am I going to deprive you from having a track if you want it? Like, I make my money somewhere, bro. Like, people who shop on Beatport don't go to SoundCloud or don't rely on SoundCloud. People on SoundCloud don't go to Beatport. Vice versa with all these different sites. People have their chosen way of getting music. And if you can't afford it, I still want you to have my music.
Yeah. Get it as many hands as we can.
Yeah, absolutely.